I was concerned about you guys saying that you guys had to eliminate Bryson from Masters contention. He's playing really good golf right now.
Hey, riddle me this. When was the last time he shot less than 73 in a round that mattered at Augusta?
Look, I don't know, and I don't think you do either.
Yeah. I think that's the point.
Exactly.
Did they not have
A real stunning debate here in the parking lot.
Did they not have irons in your hotel room?
That's Sean's comeback.
Got him.
Good Lord.
There's 88 players in the field. Jordan Spieth will not win the Masters. I had a feeling he could, and then over the weekend in San Antonio, you know, the golf gods presented him an opportunity to do the right thing and not play onto the clubhouse at TPC San Antonio, but he did. And he spurned the golf gods, and now he will not win the Masters as a result.
Quick question for you then, Sean. Who finishes higher? 72 holes. Tiger or Phil?
You might be talking about people that only play 36
And
holes.
do you need 72 holes to decide?
Tiger's absolutely going to beat Phil Mickelson.
Wow.
I've decided Scotty is going to shoot 12 under. It's just a matter of whether or not anyone shoots 13 under.
Wow.
What do you think about that, Dylan?
I mean, Scotty's going to be in the mix. I'm wondering if Scotty has some sort of beeper situation going on with his first kid on the way. I don't think we have any details on that. There's Chick-fil-A, wherever you can get left here. It just feels like we've got a good golf tournament on tap. Like the focus is going to be on the golf, not on the LIV PGA Tour divide. And
You say that now. We got like
yeah,
10 press conferences
you're right.
to draw up that divide real quick.
It just feels like we're due for a Sunday afternoon, like 4 or 5 guys in contention down the stretch. And I think that's what's coming.
They say like you have to be like one of the absolute best in the business to get a player to talk to you during Masters Week, and I'm not gonna say anything other than I am talking to Justin Rose in a few minutes, so we'll see.
This has kind of been something that has kind of, the word's gone out a little bit on tour, but this is definitely something that I try to keep as my own little secret. And actually I think there's some cryptic meaning around the name, Sub Rosa.
Yes.
Obviously sub, you know, you flip the other way around, that means bus, obviously, and then Rosa, clearly that's not a stretch, but Rose, but it kind of means like a secret meeting place. In terms of the actual recovery stuff, this is where we started to strip things out. This used to be a sofa, clearly took that up. This is obviously, as you can see, a red light bed. Looks like a tanning bed pretty much.
I was gonna say.
And then this is, I think, the coolest room. This
Amazing.
what would be the bedroom of a typical RV.
Yeah.
So here we have hot and cold plunges. Typically we always keep, you know, each tub can do hot and cold. So you know, if one was to go down, for example, and you know, you really want to focus on the cold, you can make each one hot or cold. And then in here we have an infrared sauna. So again, you know, lots of anti-inflammatory properties here. Do a lot of detoxing. You know, I've done a little bit of sort of, I guess, genetic testing, and detoxing is an important thing that I have to take care of. So that's another great way to do that. So I haven't really invited anybody in to see it until now because, you know, I've kind of wanted to keep it a little secret.
Yeah.
But you know, I think enough people know about it now that, you know, the word's out. But I'm glad that you guys.
Yes, thank you for having us. This is like the coolest place to be for the Eclipse right now because we got these created exclusively for the Masters tournament, it says. Very cool. Here we go.
Hold on. I might just like wear these recreationally. Oh, they're like, where's the sun right now? I'm pointed to it. I can. Where? Oh!
Yeah, well, this week, if we're doing club work with a player, then we have failed them. This is a big week where they need to spend all the time they can prepping and out on the golf course. So we spend, a lot of time really at the start of the year making sure their bag is set before they get to a Masters. That is something that we're very adamant about. And so, 6 weeks out, we're already starting to think about Augusta and making sure that everything's dialed. So it's a relatively quiet week. An occasional, maybe some putters if guys are struggling. They played last week. We've had a couple guys that have switched in some new putters, but it's a relatively quiet week. But guys do want you to come out there and kind of take a look. They do have some questions, but not many guys are on the truck this week grinding just because the prep work has been before this. So it's a relatively quiet week.
What's the key to being a great caddy at Augusta National?
You got to want to be the best. You want to be among the best. And I studied it. I studied the course. I was being an engineer and didn't realize what I was doing at the time. Ninth grade dropout.
Right.
But yeah, you gotta pay attention and realize when you make mistakes and live up to them and learn from this.
Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking.
Man, I feel like everyone's already talked. There were 26 press conferences yesterday. There's gonna be like 8 or 9 more like in the big main press room today. I'm gonna go to every single one of them, I've decided, and see what I learned, see if I can learn like 20 or 30 things. What are you gonna do?
We're hearing from Tiger Woods today, so I'm probably going to pop into that. We're hearing from Rory McIlroy. I'm probably going to pop in for that. We're hearing from Jordan Spieth. I'm probably going to pop in for that. And we're hearing from Scotty Scheffler. I'm probably going to pop in for that. Oh, and John Rahm too. So yeah, there's a lot of guys speaking, a lot of people talking. And I don't know, I feel like this is when we get a real sense of the narratives they're developing this week.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped for it.
See, another sign.
Who's on my mind today? Phil Mickelson and John Rahm are on my mind today. Phil is not giving a press conference. I assume that they asked him and he declined. And yeah.
Oh!
I want to walk around.
You know what's on my mind
Catch
is
the vibes.
the Champions Dinner tonight.
Yeah?
I'm excited for those picks of, how many LIV guys are going to be in there now?
Quite a few.
The host.
I mean, they've got a lot. LIV has a lot of green jackets.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods press conference review. Ready? Action.
So have you thought about being one of those starters down the line on the Thursday morning and that kind of thing?
No.
Maybe not that far,
No,
but just
I have not thought about being a starter here. No.
But I mean, in a more immediate sense, in terms of playing when you maybe don't think that all things can come together and you can win as you do right now.
Well, Mark, I still think they can. So I don't know when that day is, when that day comes, but I still think that I can. I haven't got to that point where I don't think I can't. I love golf. I do. I've always loved it. I played other sports growing up, but I just have always loved this sport. And I'd love to compete and be able to have the love I have for the game and the love for competition be intertwined. I think that's one of the reasons why I've had a successful career. I just love doing the work.
Rory, Tiger was in here a little while ago, and he said very forthright, like, yes, Rory will get it done. He'll win a green jacket someday. I know you have a lot of people in your life who are comfortable saying that, but does it mean more when someone of his stature says it so forthrightly?
Yeah, it's flattering. It's nice to hear, in my opinion, the best player ever to play the game say something like that. So, yeah, I mean, does that mean that it's going to happen? Obviously not, but you know, he's been around the game long enough to know that I at least have the potential to do it. And I mean, I know I've got the potential to do it too. It's not as if I haven't, you know, been a pretty good player for the last couple of decades. So, but yeah, it's nice to hear it when it comes out of his mouth.
Having sat in all of them, I think what stood out to me was that, one, Rory McIlroy is in a rush. You weren't in there for Rory's press conference. He arrived. He arrived eight minutes early, and then shut it down 11 minutes after that. Was out the door. Like, very purposeful how Rory is treating press conferences these days, and whether that works for him on the golf course is one thing, but he's just not giving the press a lot of time before turn.
Yeah, it's funny how Rory's mentality this week seems to be, let's treat this like every other tournament, but he's definitely trying very hard to treat it like another tournament, which might be self-defeating. So I don't know.
John Rahm's a little uncomfortable. He's nervous about the Champions Center. He's getting asked LIV golf questions. Tiger's clearly uncomfortable because he probably can't win. Victor Hovland doesn't like what his game's doing. Rory's trying to get in and out of there. Jordan Spieth talking about a wrist issue.
You know who else is comfy up there? Dog. Wyndham.
Okay, yes, Wyndham and Scotty, the two guys that actually look like, yeah, I'll sit here and answer your questions. Like, my golf game is dialed right now. I think that's obviously a telling sign of where they're at, because those are the two best players that we've seen this whole year. So who's going to win based off of all those press conferences?
I mean, you know the answer.
It is, unfortunately, Scotty. It's not a sexy answer. It's the answer we've been seeing all year, so it's not a different answer. But he is so at peace with the game of golf that just sends people to the edge of cliffs. That, like, he is so dialed that it would be stunning if you would shoot any worse than 12 to 13 under par this week. So if that's the standard, you got to beat that. That's where he'll be.